Hi there, welcome to Cubicle Coder. I'm Marcin Kubica. Today another episode on team leading about one-on-ones. If you recently became a development team manager, regular one-on-ones with your people is probably your first regular managerial duty. So what are these one-on-ones about and how to do them well? You can find many valuable pieces of advice like shut up and listen, never reschedule, and many others. Before we come to how to do one-on-ones, let's first focus on their purpose. And this purpose should serve your purpose as a manager of a creative team. And your job is not to make people work, but to make it possible for people to work well. If you want them to do an amazing job, make the work an amazing activity. To do that, you have to learn. How is it for them to work here? What are the pain points and obstacles? What are their goals? Where and how can they grow? Most of it boils down to how can I best serve them? Even if you work hand in hand with your people, don't assume that you know the answers. It's the purpose of one-on-ones to learn all these from your people. The problem is, people rarely come and just tell you what you need to know. And you can't just ask them directly, because often you don't know what to ask about. You have to explore it. Assume that there is something that you don't know and can genuinely learn from your employee. All you do should support unearthing and learning it. Here are 10 tips on how to do one-on-ones. Arrange a comfortable and safe space. People should not interrupt or distract you. Some privacy is needed too. For example, if you meet in a room with a glass door or walls, be mindful of what appears on the whiteboard. Reserve enough time. Make it a dedicated meeting or make sure that other topics don't compete for time with the one-on-one. I often book a 45-minute slot. Typical business meetings are allocated in half-an-hour quants. This way, on the one hand, I can safely extend the meeting by a quarter when needed. On the other hand, if we are done in 30 minutes, it doesn't feel strange. Make it regular. You never know when something vital that you are not aware of pops up. The only way to learn about it is to check regularly. Typically, a bi-weekly meeting will do. But if the employee is onboarding or there is anything that may need special attention, make it weekly. It's their time. You are the boss, and you can always find a way to discuss your issues. The goal is to discuss their issues. Even if you have your agenda, their agenda goes first, and be ready to discuss your points some other time. Never reschedule the one-on-one. Whether you like it or not, each time you reschedule the one-on-one, you send a message. The reason why I reschedule is more important than whatever problems you want to discuss with me. On the other hand, if your employee asks to reschedule the one-on-one and you do your best to accommodate it, you send a message. Your work and your problems are important to me. That's why you should not reschedule the one-on-ones yourself. Well, sometimes I do ask to reschedule the one-on-one, but I'm always mindful about the message that is passed. For example, I need to reschedule the one-on-one because I need to go with my child to visit a doctor. The message is, our families are essential. If you need to do the same, don't hesitate. Or, our team is blocked and needs to meet to make further progress. The only feasible slot is during our one-on-one. The message is, the team is the priority. So it much depends on the reason and the message that reflects it. Prepare before the meeting. Before the meeting, I review my notes and prepare 2-3 questions I would like to ask. One of them is an open, unearthing question, but I'm ready to improvise depending on how the meeting unwinds. Use open questions. How to ask about something you don't even know that you don't know? You need open questions that trigger reflection, even are provocative. Ben Horowitz, in his excellent post 101, proposes some such questions. Link in the description. With time, I worked out several such questions and keep a cheat sheet in my notebook that I carry with me during one-on-ones. My favorite are those that ask for corrective feedback, like, what's not fun about working here? Or, what could I do better? Make notes and review them just after the meeting. I always come to one-on-one with a notebook and take notes. There is not enough time to make structured notes. After the meeting, I review the notes, take care of all the actionable items, rewrite essential information in a more structured way and proper place, and put down a list of topics that I need to follow up during the next 101. Scheduling a 45-minute slot also helps, as I have enough time to go through the notes before the next hour starts. Shut up and listen. People are different. Some are very structured, come with a concrete agenda to discuss, and appreciate timely meetings. Others are more introverted and need more space and time to open up. In the latter case, the best you can do is to shut up and listen. It's simple, but not easy. Michael Lopp elaborates on this in his excellent post, The Update, the Event, and the Disaster. Link in the description. We all feel a natural need to relate to other people, but remember, the goal is to learn about things that you had no idea about, not to jump in with your own problems or experiences. Silence is also a very powerful tool. If you can bear it and remain silent, the other person would rather elaborate more on her topic than stay silent too. Another tool you may use is rephrasing. If everything was said, try to summarize it in your own words. It encourages the other person to elaborate more on the topic and lets you make sure that you are both on the same page. Take a walk. Before the pandemic, from time to time, I asked to have 101 while taking a walk outside, sometimes while walking the dogs or having some ice cream on our way. There is something magical about walking and how it influences our thoughts and what topics pop up. Of course, it's much less time efficient. You can't take notes and there is no whiteboard. But it's worth trying from time to time. I hope you will find some of these hints useful. And what are your tips on how to do 101s? Please do share. Thanks for watching.